Let's get
What's been going on in the fucking news this week?
I have kind of looked briefly just to see if anything fucking weird's going on because it's kind of been a thing we've been doing. I haven't seen anything too weird. I don't know if this is a regular occurrence, but I just don't keep privy to it. But last time we spoke about those people that injecting their dicks and stuff in the Winter Olympics. I'm seeing loads of weird shit coming from the Winter Olympics, and I don't know if that's a normal thing for the Winter Olympics, but I'm just seeing a bunch of weird stuff. Like apparently there was a huge condom shortage there now because everyone's just there fucking.
What, for the Olympics?
Yeah, and apparently like condom prices like really high and stuff at the minute because they're like charging more for them because there's like a demand. But like there was like a stat of something like over 10,000. Yeah, Mark even just put in the chat there 3,000 a day have been sold. Like I saw that like 10,000 of them had been sold in like a week or something like that. Like, so it's a weird. I keep seeing stuff about Winter Olympics. I'm like, man, what is going on over there? Because I never pay any attention to any Olympics, let alone a winter one. But I just
Where
keep
is
seeing
it?
weird shit. I don't know where it is currently, but I think they're doing it in Milan later in the year if it's not there already. But yeah, it's just good-looking athletic people just fucking. You know what I mean? That's what it is. But yeah,
Busting
like
them Olympic nuts,
a
man.
condom shortage, man. One of the cool things that I saw in the past 24 hours news-wise is that they discovered a new species of dinosaur in the desert.
Hmm.
Found like a big fucking head of a dinosaur of a new species, which is pretty cool.
Still intact, like, not decomposed.
Yeah, it's just a pure fucking dinosaur head. And a cool bit of news that I saw because it was meant to do it, I think 4th of February, but there's been tests and weather's right and all that type of stuff. But doing that mission where they're putting people around the moon, four astronauts, and they're doing like a flyby of the moon and then coming back. And now the date that they're setting it for is apparently the 6th of March, which is the day that we go to Budapest. So we could also be watching some fucking moon shit, which would be cool.
Maybe it's our plane. Maybe they'll just fucking put us there, man. It's like a
Man,
surprise trip.
I would hate that. I hate flying. Imagine that. Just like, yeah, just a quick diversion to the moon.
You've been selected.
I mean, at that point, to be fair, that is the way to do it for me because if you're telling me I'm going past the moon, a part of me would love to get in it because how could you turn that down? But I wouldn't be able to fucking put myself in that chair knowing I'm going to do that. But if I'm just already in the seat, it's like, by the way, that's the way to get me there, though. You know what I mean? I'm never going to just opt in to do that. I'll be too
Just
shook.
give you the same prospect as your fucking prostate exam. You might as well get that while you're on there.
yeah. Same fucking principle. But yeah, I ain't seen. There ain't been any like crazy weird shit. I did see actually that
Just Prince Andrew, right?
yeah, Prince Andrew. Yeah, whatever. I'll pay less attention to all that shit because anything politics or royal family, I can't stand, man. But I did see that Barack Obama was on a podcast and he said aliens are real. He's just never seen them and they're not in Area 51. I thought that was quite an interesting thing for him to say.
Anyone can say that, can't they?
But that's what I thought because it made like headlines, and I thought like, what statistics would show that if if the universe is infinite, like yeah, they're real. But he said that they're not in Area 51, and he's never seen them. So if people think that like the government are hiding them and the president knows all that shit, he was just like they're real, but he's never personally like seen them on Earth or anything like that. But yeah, I guess like soon as an ex-president says aliens are real, that's going to catch fire. You know what I mean? Even clickbaity and stuff. But well, that was quite interesting. But there's been nothing, like penis injections or fucking whatever it was last time, World War One bomb up someone's ass. There was nothing too crazy like that.
Just penis suck-offs with fucking Prince Andrew, right, man?
Yeah.
Gobbling them little dicks, man.
It would be funny in like whatever long it takes that we do this podcast. Let's say we finish on 100 and we do no more. Just tally up the amount of times the word "little dicks" have cropped up in all the areas that we've spoke. Because I reckon already it's at like 5 at least.
Yeah, man.
One of the
That's all we
feedback I
think
got from
about,
my
mate.
friend Alex was like, "Love the episode, but the word "little dicks" was brought up a bit too much for my liking." That was a criticism from an episode a while ago.
Yeah.
I think it was one that we had Kyron on because I think we even said we might even call the episode title of that Little Dicks, but I don't think we did.
Yeah. If you can't just handle a little conversation about little boys' dicks, like, you just got to look at your own maturity at that point, man.
Yeah, of course. If you can't handle that, you gotta look internally then, are you?
That's it, man. It's fucking it's daily conversation, eh? You know what I mean? Little dicks, little pussies, and that. So.
To throw little pussies in there. That does not need to be said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've seen in the news. I haven't seen anything too fucking weird. But in looking, because I'm trying to find fun stuff, some of that stuff like the dinosaur thing's pretty interesting, but it is just bullshit stuff, man. Like, one, what constitutes as news? Like, who's writing this? Like, what a slow news day. Someone is just needing to get paid. And some of it, it's just trying to depress you. But on one hand, I saw that the unemployment rate in the UK is the highest it's been within 5 years, which I thought, fuck you know. But then at the same time, I saw that there's us as like Britons in the past year have had like a 3 point something percent of like productivity boost, which is going to help the economy going forward. Like we're kind of bouncing back in one way, and that like the NHS waiting list is like the lowest it's been in like 3 years and stuff. So it's like, what what the fuck's going on then? Like you're telling me unemployment rate's like the highest it's ever been, but then in other aspects we're doing well. Like it's almost hard to believe what's true and what's not.
It's crazy in America. I think that the unemployment rate is higher than the amount of jobs that are available.
Damn, that's scary. That's a big place as well. A lot of people
Yeah,
over there too.
yeah, that's fucked when you think of it like that.
I think we spoke about it fucking, you know, a lot with AI, but I think that's only going to get worse. And I think unless you got like a trade, you know what I mean, where like an AI is not going to come and take your job of fixing like boilers if you're a plumber and stuff. Like that's going to be like those are going to be the very last jobs to be taken up. But say for my job instance, like data entry, that could be 3 years away, depending on how quick it advances. And then, it's not perfect. You do kind of need some human element in my type of work. Um, but how I all do it, and they'll just cut costs, and then it'll just be I do the very basic human element stuff, and then they'll just pay minimum wage, and that's all the jobs that'll be fucking available. So I don't know how they're gonna combat that. Really, I don't know if they will have to bring like a universal basic income in for people because companies will do anything to keep productivity, but do it the cheapest way possible. That's just how a business works. You know what I mean? It's the margin of profit and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I think that it's going to get worse. Like worse than you know other generations, like granddad and like their parents and that type of stuff, lived through wars and seen like the economy really take a shit. We were quite young and in school when the recession, the housing markets crashed in like 2008 or wherever it was. So it was kind of oblivious to that. We were kids. We didn't feel the effects of that. Like maybe our parents are sweating, so maybe you saw some of that. Um, but yeah, I think this is like the first time really where no generation can sort of relate. Like, oh yeah, we went through that because they didn't have like AI and the internet as it is now. So it really
Yeah.
is like I think a fork in the road moment at the minute, like socially and everything of how this is tackled and handled, man. Because it can get slippy, or it can be the best thing humans ever did.
Yeah, it's weird to think of a world where what Mark just put in the chat. But,
Yeah.
it's weird. It's weird to think of a world where like how now you've kind of got like Shell and BP and stuff that sell all the fucking oil, and Intel and AMD that sell all the fucking CPUs and GPUs, like the big companies. It's weird to think of like two or three big conglomerates that just sell all the AI products. Like if you're fucking, I don't know, say if you're HomeServe or fucking Tesco or something like that, and you're just eventually going to buy AI bots for the whole of Tesco or something, for the fucking tills and all that shit,
Yeah.
you're going to have to go to a company to buy the AI software and the bots and shit.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be big companies that all the smaller companies go to get that. Like, it's going to be a big fucking AI race to in a consumer kind of way as well.
Yeah, well, you kind of already feel the effects that with like computer RAM. The price for RAM right now is absolutely ridiculous, but that's because people are buying up for AI and doing all that type of stuff. I think, and just before that, like, and I'm talking in the previous 5 years, um, like GPUs were quite expensive because people were like mining for Bitcoin and stuff like that. So, but now like there's like a RAM shortage. Like I saw an article the other day that they're apparently going to push the PlayStation 6 back to like 2029. I don't know if you saw that because of the shortages in RAM and stuff like that because of companies buying it all up to do AI stuff. So like we're already seeing the effects of us struggling as consumers to be like, fuck, what we're going to do about this because companies are just buying it up as like a demand thing because they're trying to fund AI. And I think we spoke about it before as well that economically, for the earth and stuff like that, for like global warming and stuff like that, like it's a problem to even source it. Like there's not enough places in the world for the data centers to be put down. Like it's almost like gonna bottleneck at some point because there's gonna not be enough stuff to put down on the earth to keep it going. But I don't know. What about if they just start shutting like villages down just to put like AI sort of data centers and stuff in
Mm.
there? I mean, like that's coming at some point if they're going to continue down this road because why wouldn't they?
Yeah, they'll just start putting fucking server racks in low orbit soon and just fucking
Yeah,
having them fly above your country, man. But it's mad, ain't it, that they fucking take all the resources and all the RAM with nobody gives a shit, do they? Like, if these AI fucking servers ran on water, they'd just fucking strip all the water and fuck the people, wouldn't they, man?
of course, it's business. It makes money. It's like, yeah, the people have got to suffer because we need to make an extra buck. Yeah, it's weird. I don't pay too much attention purposely in politics or anything, but when it comes to technology now and stuff like that, obviously I like to keep my finger on the pulse, if you will. But I see a lot of people use it as like buzzwords and try and like scaremonger, which is classic, media bullshit. But I do have my own thoughts on it and see where it's going with my own knowledge and stuff. And think, like, oh, this could be a weird turning point in human history, like none that's ever seen. You know what I mean? AI's never been really like this before. Um, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's interesting to see what I think. Generations always say it. We may have even said it in our life, like, "Oh, what's the next 10 years look like?" When the internet first came out, people would have thought, "What's the next 5 to 10 years look like?" When computers first come out, when cars came out instead of horse and buggies, people probably thought, "What's the next 5, 10 years look like?" But yeah, I think with AI, it's way different than any of that.
You think anything has gone this crazy in our fucking 30 years?
I don't imagine anything nowhere near. No, I think the boom and the internet is kind of similar because when I was a kid, it was like dial up, family computers, and it was like MSN, and then like smartphones are kind of that as well. Like 'cause it was just texting, basic texting. Now, there's full on internet and even AI just on your phone. Like you can do a lot with your phone. Like people probably make livings just from the phone, just from recording stuff and editing stuff on there. Like so, I think phones and technology in a way, computers in a sense too, but I don't think anything like what we're seeing right now.
What do you think of these people, like these dudes that are doing just AI girls and where it's an automatic filter over video and they're just creating fake profiles being a girl and just fucking getting people to chat to them and send them money and stuff like? Do you think people are doing that for real and making a lot of money off it?
Yeah, I think things like big in Asia. I saw like a thing of like older women have like a young woman filter and like dancing on TikTok and stuff because I've seen videos where the filter comes off a little bit and they have to like
Yeah.
panic and shit and it's very dystopian, very weird. But I see like over in Asia, they're very weird about that stuff. Like I've seen people like drive down the streets and like next to each other, all like dancing and trying to be the next like TikTok star. And it's a bit like, oh, it's a bit creepy to see because yeah, it's very uncanny valley and dystopian and stuff. But Yeah, I believe there's probably AI OnlyFans people that people think is real women.
You think
Um,
it's immoral or nah to just be a fake person talking to a guy that's sending you fucking, I don't know, hundreds of dollars a week? Because they're getting, you're just a fake woman. You're probably talking to them all flirty and, friendly, but they're getting what they want out of it. Like, does it matter really, like, morally, if you're just some fat cunt in a fucking, in a bedroom just stringing them
you're
along?
asking me personally.
Yeah.
I'm a fat cunt in a bedroom right now.
You ain't
Um,
stringing no one along the way.
j- uh, I think it's all weird because I know like the big sort of OnlyFans people, like the top end that are making millions, they don't because I genuinely don't know how OnlyFans work. I've never actually been on the site or anything. I just hear from what I read online. But you can like message them personally for money, I think.
Yeah,
And
like paywall
I
message.
think so, yeah. And I I know for a fact because I've heard some of them talk about it and stuff like that. They're not even the ones replying. They just hire a dude or a friend of theirs,
Yeah,
and
there's
they
another
just
team.
yeah. So like that's already a grey blurry line, which is touching on what you said. Then is it kind of immoral then because you're kind of being deceived because you're not really speaking to the person. But at the end of the day, if you're paying your subscription fee and you're getting getting to see them in a way that you want to see them. You kind of getting what you're paying for out of it. So I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Even that with like OnlyFans and that being more of a common thing is kind of an odd thing socially that it's more accepted. Like you see like young girls talking about it and stuff, and it's like, like it's a bit of a weird area. That I think that's why they're trying to do it where the banning social media and things like that till like you're 16, which one off for me is for freedom of speech and things like that. So I don't like any things that are put in place because I think it's wrong. We should be able to do, in a sense, what we want to do if it's our choice. But at the same time, I do think that something in place like that needs because it's gonna be a fucking weird place for your kid and stuff like that, especially like the younger generation. Because fucking hell, like I can't even imagine what their social stuff's gonna look like.
Just think though, as a kid, you're just fucking existing, growing up, fucking going through emotions, puberty and everything, and just being a fucking child and, living with your family and being taught by your parents how the world is and all this shit. And then you get to like 12 and you just go in the fucking internet and it's just this entire fucking universe that's just going to influence your thoughts and give you fucking body standards and opinions and fucking religious bullshit from here and political shit from here, and your brain just gets flooded. You should be given a chance to fucking 16 or 18 or something to kind of build your own view on the world and become a person before you start getting fucking poisoned.
Yeah, yeah. I see like stuff like China and North Korea where it's very strict and they feed you the information, which is dangerous because if your government's only the thing you see and you don't know otherwise, that they're brainwashed over there because of it. And so I do think if you get an exposure to the world in some capacity, then it is a good thing in the sense that you know how the other people are living and you know what's right and wrong because you're like, oh, we're not doing it like that. Like, why should I kind of do it like that? Like, this other world free or that type of thing. So, I don't know. It's weird. I don't have kids, so like, I ultimately don't really have to worry about. You know what I mean? I don't really give a fuck. Once I'm dead, I'm dead. I don't care really. I don't have kids to worry about. If you're on your deathbed and you know some weird shit's happening, you will have a concern of like, fuck, what's my kid gonna go through now and his kids and stuff. Like, there's a concern, but when I'm dead, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I've got nothing to leave behind that has to deal with shit. I'm just gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. But the thing is, though, when Facebook and stuff like that came along for us, we were probably 14, 15. And it came out and it obviously slowly ramped up and became what it is today. But we got into it as it was just fucking nothing. You know what I mean? It was just people saying, I'm eating ice cream or I've gone to Starbucks. And
Fucking
it was just
poking you in
fuck
the
all. Yeah, yeah. But then it obviously has fucking accelerated over the last 10 years. but we've seen the effect it's had on people now, even our age, that are just on it all fucking day, posting on it non-stop and just addicted to it. But then people like kids our age, kids the age that we were then and even younger, probably 10, 11, 12 are getting on there when it's in full fucking speed. You know what I mean? Just getting dropped onto the road at full chat, like she's gonna fucking take over the brains, man.
Yeah, because there was social media when we were young. Like there was like Bebo. I was on MySpace. But the difference is you could only get on it at certain parts. So you couldn't just open your phone and be on it. You'd have to go home, log on a whole computer, and then browse it then. But now the fact that you can just pull it up and just be on it at any time, I think that's what's kind of fucky because then that's when it becomes that autopilot that you just pull your phone out and you're just on it. You know what I mean? Like we've spoken about it before, it just happens. And I've done it before where I've come off social media and deleted like Instagram and Facebook and that type of stuff from my phone, and then just autopilot, I'll just naturally go and press like where the app was, like not even thinking about it. Like my thumb just does that, and I think, whoa, that's kind of like a scary thing that my brain was like, yeah, just get on that quick, and like it ain't even there anymore. And yeah, and we have the wherewithal to do it. But what's scarier, AI or World War Three? I think it's the same fucking thing. If we don't keep it in check, it fucking could be.
Yeah, we gotta keep AI happy, and we AI could prevent it or cause it, though, couldn't it?
Yeah, and it might even cause it not because AI is going to be this like sinister thing. Resources, like we invaded. Well, I say we, but like America invaded um Iraq and stuff like that. Apparently for like oil. That's the main reason they went in there and said they had weapons of mass destruction and shit like that. But like, if we go on there and we're like, yeah, we want that space to put our AI data centers and servers and that type of stuff, and they're fighting for stuff like that, like it could just cause a fight because people are fighting to be the best AI team, and that causes a fight. Like, it's a weird time more than ever, I think.
Did you see a couple of weeks ago America was trying to buy Greenland?
Yeah, I saw something about that. Yeah,
Even that could have been just a fucking ploy for some space, for some servers and shit like that, man.
yeah, yeah. I'll see. Like I said, man, I'll keep away from politics best I can. But when something weird or mad said, especially from that mad bastard Trump, you just see stuff about it and just the weird shit I saw him say about fucking buying up Greenland and saying, yeah, if you don't let me do this, I'm gonna do that, whatever. And I just thought, how's he in charge of anything, man? Like, who's let that fucking tall orange baby rule anything?
It's funny as well because he was trying to get Canada, weren't he, to be like the fucking 52nd state or whatever, or 51st state.
Yeah.
It's like he's just in a room saying, be a fucking good idea, and then they're all going, But every now and again they just go, yeah, let's try it, and then he's off running. He's like, yo, let's fucking do it.
Yeah, before a meeting, like they're outside, they're having a cigarette or something, and they're like, oh, can you be asked for this meeting? Like, nah, he's gonna bring up some shit, man. He's gonna say some shit, and we're all have to gonna smile and nod. I'm like, yes, Don, yeah, we're gonna do that. I mean,
Yeah,
afterwards they're thinking, what a mad cunt.
yeah. But sometimes he fucking does it, though, man. He does keep some people in check, though.
I don't know, fucking, like I said, with all politics and stuff, I know more about American politics and presidents. Like I'll go to like a quiz every couple of weeks, and it's like a nerdy quiz, but they have general knowledge rounds. And I asked the quiz dude before, and he said he gets because there's some football questions in there, and I'm the only one in the whole quiz that knows the answer. Like we get the point for those ones. So when a football question comes up, I'm like, yes, easy points for us. And I asked him before, I was like, how come like they're in there then if no one knows them? And he said he gets because there's like a national thing of like pub quizzes that he gets like the top answers and questions from like the weekly quizzes. Because they're like the best questions of the week and whatnot, whatever. And yeah, he'll get stuff like politics ones and stuff like that. And when it's like English, like what year was his prime minister? Fucking whatever. I have no clue, man. I know nothing about British anything, any politics, any Labour. I don't know what parties or what. I know nothing. But when it's like which president was in charge then, I just know it for some reason. I think it's just because a lot of the media that I consume, whether it be podcasts or TV shows and stuff, it's American, not British.
Yeah, same here. A lot of words and stuff I use or terms kind of Americanized because it's just fucking podcasts and everything like that.
Yeah, me
But
too.
quite, I would like I'd rather keep the politics off. To be fair, because to be fair, we went the full 20 fucking episodes until episode 20 was the most political one we spoke. Because before that, we'd not mentioned it once.
What did we mention last week? That was political.
We were talking about Britain and that, weren't we? Fucking like Keir Starmer and all that kind of shit, and like the state of the UK.
I don't even remember.
Don't remember
I
that
literally
episode.
don't remember.
That episode was flying though, weren't it? To be fair.
Yeah, I don't remember even talking about Keir Starmer and that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any stance towards it. It sometimes you bring it up just because it's like news and stuff, but it's the same with the royal family, man. I don't get how people love that shit. I do think it's a generational thing. Like our parents and your granddads and all that type of stuff of the world, like they love them, I think. But I reckon our generation, and then as you get lower and lower in the generations, like I think people will give less a shit about them because who cares, man? Like who the fuck cares about them?
Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't think it's cool. Like, I think it's just some pantomime bullshit, man, that's just carried on from fucking hundreds of years ago, and we're just like, yeah, sure.
I think that way in general because there's definitely celebrities, and we've spoken about this in our personal life that when they die and pass, I'll be sad. Like when Arnold Schwarzenegger dies and Sylvester Stallone dies, like these were heroes of mine that I watched endlessly as a child. When they die, I think it'll be part of like fuck, like they're dead and I love them, and it'll be a sort of reality check on your own mortality because you're like fuck, that means my heroes are dying. That means I'm getting older. Like it kind of does that to you. So I do put some weight in people I'll never meet that are famous people, but these people that are obsessed and let their mood dictate like what other people are doing, like like gossip channels, like this person's dating this person, people love it, and people tune into TMZ and that E and like that. I don't get how people give that much of a fuck about these fucking people, man.
Yeah. A weird one. I was talking to my dad a couple of weeks ago because I kind of got into just fucking Ozzy Osbourne music since he died,
Mm.
which I think happens because you see they've died and then
Of course, you want
kind
to
of
check out
becomes.
why they were a big deal. Like, what was the deal with him?
Yeah, and I knew a few songs obviously, but I kind of dived deep and just listened to fucking pretty much all of them and found a few that I loved. But me and my dad used to watch the Osbournes as a kid,
Yeah,
like probably fucking 2005 or something like that. And I was saying to my dad, like, it's weird that we watched that together because I don't know who the fuck he was. I enjoyed the show, but being 10 years old, I didn't know who he was. But to him, to my dad, it's a big celebrity that's already been around for like 30 years, you know what I mean? So to him, it was a big, famous fucking guy just on the TV, but I don't know who the fuck he was. But
yeah.
then now, like another 30 years later, he's fucking died, like, and yeah, but because you were saying about celebrity like Arnold Schwarzenegger and that dying, but they're like in the 70s, approaching 80s, which is the time for them to be dying. But it's crazy that you've had them since you were a kid. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's like these celebrities that have been around forever. They should be dying by now, but to you, because they're kind of like a fake character, you kind of expect them to be around forever. You know what I mean? Because they are immortalized in
It's
media,
true.
aren't they?
It's true. Like, I'll see them now, obviously, but if you just say Arnold Schwarzenegger, in my head, in my mind's eye, I visualize Terminator 2 Arnie, and he's like late 30s, early 40s, you know what I mean? But then when I see him now, I think, oh, he's still jacked, to be fair, he's still in shape and stuff, but he is an old man now. And it is like, like, fuck, my hero's getting older, man. Like, it is, but you do remember, like, we spoke about it before when Matthew Perry, like Chandler Bing, died from Friends. And because I was a big fan of Friends growing up, that when you see him, like, when I think of Chandler now, I think of like prime Friends Chandler, like he's young and that still, but yeah, you don't, because you're in love and like them for a certain character, that character's kind of immortalized in your head and you think that's how they still look.
Yeah, and because you want to see an actor in a movie or a show every few years, it's like you get this delayed update of what they look like. So if someone's not in a film for like 10 years, you forget about them. Then you see them, you're like, oh shit. Like they got old because the last thing you saw in them, they were fucking 10 years younger. So like you just see sudden age on them.
Yeah, I think it happens in real life. Like you more than I, like have bumped into people that went to school, and that was like 10 to 15 years ago, and you're like, fucking hell, you know what I mean? Because when you imagine them, you imagine when we were like 15 in school still. When you see them now, and they've gone through some shit, maybe had some kids, been divorced at this point, and whatnot, you'd be like, oh damn, that person's not the young 15-year-old that I once knew. He's like a full grown man that's gone through some shit.
Yeah, and they see me and they say, oh damn, he's fucking doing all right.
They probably don't think that.
They do. They think,
Probably
mate,
think,
he's put.
fucking hell, look, that's the biggest sloth there that I've ever seen.
No, they think he's fucking put 6 inches on and fucking some muscle.
Oh gosh.
It is true though. You see some people from school and you think, fucking hell, what's been happening?
Yeah, people have got to think about me, for sure. Like I look at myself. I don't think I've aged badly, to be fair, especially compared to some of my peers. But I don't think I'm looking good. You know what I mean? I don't look at myself and think, fucking yeah, I'm a spring chicken. I look at myself and think, fucking hell, I'm just slowly climbing towards death, man.
Yeah, there are some pictures around late school time where you were pretty fucking skinny and that, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I was up to my shit back in the day, you know what I mean? I've lived that life, I've done it, man. I'm allowed to just be a fat, lazy cunt now. I got my fingering done early on.
Yeah. And then them fucking chocolate pretzels and Lucasade have caught up, they?
Chocolate, I don't have chocolate pretzels, son.
Flips, man.
Yeah, I had
Well, them
them maybe
years.
twice.
Nah. Fucking years you're eating them.
Not years, bruv. They hurt my teeth, I can't eat them too long.
Point proven, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm at like peak looks, but you know, I've still got my hair and stuff like that for now. Um a lot of people that I see that are my age and stuff are either losing it and holding on to the wisps that they've got left, or don't have it at all. So yeah, and I'm not grey. I don't have any greys or anything, so I don't think I'm aging too terrible. I just don't look after myself. But I feel if I got that in check, I think I'd be all right. I reckon if I get to like 40 and I really get myself fucking together, I'll probably one of them where I look good for 40. You know what I mean? Like I think I could snap back into some shit where like, oh, you look good for your age, but while I'm meant to be looking my age, I don't. Like I look shit for my age in a way, but I think I could get to a point where like, oh, he looks good for his age. I just ain't there.
The thing that way, if you think that for too long and then you do pass the point because
Yeah,
time just fucking
that
fleet.
train's harder to fucking jump on, ain't man? That train's harder to
Yeah.
catch because that's leaving the station quick. That is, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. You got to jump on it now, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I need to, but it's fucking effort, man.
At least you ain't got fucking Hey Arnold hair. Like that geezer in the chat has.
Like, fuck, what am I thinking of? Is it like Angelica's doll from Rugrats? Is it
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, the fucking robot head from Toy Story, man. Hey
Oh,
Arnold.
God.
Hey Arnold with the little tiny flat peak with a bit of hair sticking out like that.
I think I said to him before, he made you laugh when I said he was like old dandelion head or something like that.
Yeah, man. That killed me, that did.
Oh yeah, someone, boy, have you seen the new Toy Story trailer? I was gonna say that. Have you seen that? Toy Story
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, I'm
But
kind of into the concept, but not, man. Like, I kind of like that it's addressing the modern issue of fucking iPads and shit, but at the same time, it's kind of not nice to watch. And it just looks kind of boring too. I think number 4 was fucking boring.
yeah, I did say I like number 4. I went cinema to see it, but I did agree with some of the criticism of it at the time. And I did see the trailer and people liking the look of this one more than number 4. Everyone just said, yeah, this is better than number 4. And there was a couple of hard hitting lines in the 5th trailer, and I was like, damn, that's so true. That's so real. Like it. So and I think the animation, as Pixar do, looks fucking amazing, man. I think it looks so fresh and fluid. And I love Toy Story, so I'll probably see it. But I think some messages in media and things that that's obviously portraying, it's good. But I'm so bored of being beat over the head by meanings in TV shows that I just want something just to be fun for the sake of fun. I don't need a message. I don't need a deep hidden meaning of this. Like, just let things be as it is. I don't want some social, political sort of twist on things to be like, that's a reflection of how life is. Like, just let something be fun. I want to immerse myself in a game and a TV show or something to get away from life shit like that. I don't need it fucking beating me over the head in the stuff that I love as well. Like, I want something just to be fun for the sake of being fun. I don't need messages. I get why it needs to be in there. You can even have it subliminally, like, I see what they're doing there. It's quite clever. But I don't need it fucking in my face, man.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. A lot of stuff's a bit too self-aware. I think it's a, like you say, it is a message that needs saying though, and I think it might wake up some fucking parents and some kids. And I was watching the trailer, and even just the trailer was kind of like, damn it, that does show you what's happening in a way. Like, all kids are just doing that rather than playing with toys. Like, they're just fucking. When she's just wide-eyed and zombied out, it's like, yeah, there are a lot of fucking kids that are just doing that now, and maybe some
Yeah.
parents will wake up a bit and think, fuck yeah, they're just slipping away.
It's weird though, because I get there's a clear, distinct difference between what kids are doing now and just brain rotting shit on YouTube and melting their brain. And maybe there is a bit of a difference between when I was a kid, but I was in Nando's the other day, and as we were leaving, it was busy, so there was loads of families in there, and all the kids that were in there were just on like iPads watching movies while the family ate, and or just playing like a phone game on an iPad or a phone or something. And someone said, "Oh man, like all the kids in there were just on their phones. Like that was weird." And I said, "Yeah, but like it made me think back that when I was a kid and I went somewhere with like my dad or my family and stuff, I'd take my Game Boy, or I was always playing something. Like I was that kid because it is boring to do that shit when you're a kid. Like, and I get there's a difference between maybe using your brain to play things, and you it's good for you and it gets your motor skills up and you're really thinking, so it's working your brain in a different way rather than just watching just weird fucking cringy YouTube stuff. But I don't know, I do think that like it's okay, but maybe not like YouTube. Maybe if it is just like a game or something, I don't know. Like, yeah, and like Mark's put in the chat, I played Snake on Mum's Nokia. Like it would be the same. I'd ask my dad to like, oh, can I go on your phone and play games? And I'd play like, I looked it up the other day because I was talking about it. It was like a sort of game you're in a spaceship and you're like shooting like the big bosses come like a big snake and shit, and it was fucking cool. And that was fun. And that did like melt my brain. But then there's a difference between like, I don't know, man, like things that are getting hundreds of millions of views on YouTube, and you look at it and it is just brain rot stuff. Like, man, this is not good for people's, like, especially kids' brains, man. It's weird. And I remember my nephew, now he's like 12, but he was a kid and my brother used to let him on his phone. He'd like start talking like it. And my brother has to tell him off, like, oh, stop talking that weird, cringy American accent that he's doing. Like, it had an immediate effect on him early on, man. And my brother had to like put put some restrictions in place for that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a fine line there. Like, I think if you just gave him a Game Boy, it would be different, or a Switch, because it's still working the brain and not melting it. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely positive effects for video games. I think that's proven. Like, they help people's skills and problem solving aspects because you get your brain thinking, and it's good for your hands and your motor skills and stuff. But I don't know, man. Just giving them like the kid was just sat there, just eating chicken, just watching The Grinch, and I also thought The Grinch at this time of fucking year, man. That's been and good. What are you watching The Grinch for?
Yeah. Yeah, it's important to me, and I do pay attention to just what my kids do, man. I do think back to when I was a kid, and I was just on my fucking Game Boy, like just playing Mario, and I do remember just little comments in the background, like, "Oh, he's always playing that, eh?" Like, but I remember just being like 5 and just playing like original fucking Mario Bros on just a black and white Game Boy, and I remember kind of being aware, but I was also just sucked into the game. But it was also like, yeah, but it keeps him quiet, you know what I mean? So it's kind of neutering him because you're just like, yeah, just fucking shut him up and let him do that. But I think it was a lot simpler then. It was just a little 2D game that I enjoyed playing, and the
Yeah.
battery life was probably fucking 2 or 3 hours. So beyond that point, you're forced to still go out and play, like play with toys and
You
play
have to
football
play
and
it
shit.
in certain light as well because you had no backlit screen,
Yeah,
so you'd have to like be angling it and stuff towards the
yeah,
light
yeah,
and the
yeah.
yeah.
But I think you just have to pay attention, man. Like I pay attention to mine. I'll let him. He's got a Switch, obviously, and I'll let him play some games, and he loves it and he enjoys it, and it's the main thing he wants to do. But I try and keep him in check where now if he's playing it and he's full into a game, if I say, should we play with toys? Like trains or cars or something, he's like, yeah. Like he's straight out like he ain't fully sucked in. But at the
Yeah.
same time, if he plays for an hour, it'll have no effect on him, his sound. But if you kind of get distracted and let him play it for like 2 or 3 hours, he kind of shuts down and goes a bit weird, man. Like he'll get fully sucked in, and then if you want to turn it off, he'll go crazy. And for maybe half an hour afterwards, he's just kind of moany and bitchy, and he don't want to socialise or talk. And
Yeah.
I think it's just because he's just sucked into his own world for too long, and it's quiet and like the
It's,
edges are
it's
black.
addicting.
He ain't in the room, and he's just he ain't socialised. And I think that's the issue with these kids, man. In restaurants, is they're just having iPads from the age of fucking 1, and they're just putting food in their face and staring at the screen. Where I'm sure you've played games for long enough where just the whole outside of the TV is just black. Like you can't even see the room you're in anymore. It's
Tunnel
just the
visioned in.
TV. Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
tunneled in, and kids should be looking around the room and seeing social cues and learning language and
Yeah, questioning
just
things. Why does that work like
yeah,
that? Why does that look like that?
yeah, exactly. They should just be seeing how the world's working, like people paying for food and waiters bringing food out and stuff. Not in solitary confinement, man. Just having the brains rotted away. They're not learning how the world's working. And I think that's just how you get social awkwardness and autism and fucking all that, because they're not they're not learning how to be human. Like
Yeah.
it's like fucking dogs or cats that are raised around dogs. You know what I mean? If you raise like a fucking, I don't know, people have raised chickens around dogs, and like the chicken acts like a dog and stuff, like lies with them, and
Yep.
you become a human based on your surroundings, man. So if your kid's just locked away mentally, you're not gonna have a good fucking social kid when it gets older. You've got to make sure it's still have the game time, but just watch how it affects them and just pay attention. But you still got to get them climbing and playing and fucking experimenting, man.
Yeah, I think it's kind of happened in. Look, there's a direct comparison between me and my little brother, and I was talking about this in therapy the other day, like the upbringing of stuff. And in some ways, I feel I grew up early because I was out skateboarding on the streets and just being at fucking skate parks like 11 at night and stuff. Bad parenting. But like I grew up on the streets. I learned a lot of social cues. I hung out with different groups of people from all walks and backgrounds of life. I got into some shit that I probably shouldn't have been around. I saw some drugs. I saw some sex. Like I was exposed to a lot of life, and it kind of shapes you for better or for worse. And like who you are as a person to be like, oh, I don't want to go down that route, or oh, let me steer away from that, or let me try some other. But like my little brother, for instance, he was so mothered and protected and just sheltered that I grew up and I ended up socializing, having a lot of friends from different groups and doing a lot of fun shit, experiencing life, having girlfriends, all that type of stuff. But he's just he's like 20 out something and he's so socially anxious. He's not really got many friends. Like, you know, even with all the iPad stuff, like he's like that just from overbearing like protection. Like he's on the same vein, not lived, not seen some stuff, not questioned stuff. Like he's not lived really, and now he's at an age where he's got to. He doesn't know how to set the first step. Like he doesn't know what to do. Like, and I hear some people say that about leaving school and college and further education. Like, oh, like I'm always sort of regimented, told what to do. Now I'm in a life where I have to make my own sort of decision and path and career. They don't like it, like because it scares them. They like kind of like to be told what to do. But obviously, you get to a point where that don't work anymore, and I think that's a wake up call for a lot of people that hasn't done anything because they're not sure of themselves. They're socially anxious. They don't know how to talk to people. Like even me, to be fair, I have some of it. Like I don't really like to speak on the phone. Like and that gives Cohen, who was on here before, he hates it. Like when his phone rings, he gets like real like severe anxiety, and I think that's like a common thing for our generation, which is crazy. But if someone calls you, it's like a weird PTSD thing, but it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like that, it probably used to be an exciting thing if someone was calling you, like, "Oh, who the fuck's this?" Now it's like, "Oh, who's this?" Like it's a weird shift that's happened,
Mm.
and I think it's only getting worse with people on the internet. And like I
Yeah.
said, I can only see it from my observation of the world and just seeing. I've got nieces and nephews and stuff, but they're a bit older now, and it's not like the brand new to all this. But like your kid's still relatively young, so I'll live it vicariously through you, and obviously my own observation stuff. But thankfully, I don't have to really worry about it because, like I said, once I'm dead, I've got nothing keeping me behind there. I think, fuck, how's it going to work out for them and stuff? I don't care. But it is interesting to see how it's it's going to shape the world. Like, what's the next generation look like? And I imagine it's probably a normal thing as you get older. Like your dad probably thought it, and you go further up, and I think, oh, what's this new generation like? Oh, they're pussies, and you know, you probably always look at the lower generations and think, man, who are these people shaping up to be? What are they going to take charge of life and society and stuff? But I think it's even weirder now. Again, like I said, with the internet and AI, and oh man, I just see like kids trying to be influencers and just doing weird, cringy shit, and I just think, like that was never even a venture before. Maybe you wanted to be a movie star and you do stuff, but now it's just you just turn the camera on and start talking when you're like 8 years old or something. I don't know. It's just a weird, different time. There's no predicting anything that's going to happen.
Yeah. It's all parenting, man, and it's just like I said, it's just paying attention to see what the cause and effect is. Like, I'll experiment with him. I'll give him a bit more game time, or I'll give him a bit less, or I'll give him some TV time, or a bit more, a bit less, and I'll just see the results, and they're pretty fucking reliable as well. Like I said, a bit more, and he acts up a bit less, and he's fine. So I just fine tune it, man. But when I was growing up, like, it's same with my brothers though. Like you said, your family's fucking awkward. But when I was being raised, my dad forced me to do stuff that was awkward, and fucking go in the shop and like return stuff, which is awkward anyway, to go and get a refund for something. But if I bought something wrong, he'd be like, go in there and tell him you don't want it, like you need to change it, you want your money back or something. And it was
Yeah.
fucking awkward as a kid. And he'd make me go and speak to people, or like go in there and ask him this, or fucking ask for directions. And I'd seen fucking fighting and robberies and shit like that, and he told me how the world worked, and he made me face it head on, like, go and get a fucking job, and you got to be working, and this is how money works. And so by the time I was having to go out there on my own, I'd fucking seen it all. But with my two brothers now, they took more of a relaxed, because there's fucking like 8 and 12 years or something between us, so the gap between us is quite big. And with them, they just took a much more relaxed parenting style, and they were like, we're not going to be strict with them, we're just going to fucking let them do whatever they want. And they're
Yeah,
just they're
they were
dwelling.
older as well, though, weren't they? So they were probably just like,
That's what I
fuck
mean.
it.
There was 8 years difference, so they'd calm
Parenting's
down.
still
But
with you, innit? They're like,
yeah,
we've done
but
that. Let's just chill with these.
now they both just dwell in the house. They're scared to even fucking step out. Like, they won't go to the hairdressers on their own, go to the shops, anything. They don't even come out to fucking see me. Like, that's too awkward for them. Like, I'm a stranger, you know what I mean? They don't even want to fucking socialise with me, and I'm their brother. But
I'll do a
they
podcast with you
just
and I'll fucking do.
yeah, yeah. But that's what the lax parenting has done. It's let them take their own path, but has just led to no socialization, just staying in the house and just being fucking babied. Like, it's
Yeah,
not a good way to
I
go.
think what I know fuck all about being a parent, but I think I've got some good insights. Like I feel like I can drop some wisdom on it again from, I was a child once and I knew what worked for me and what might work for other people. But I don't think it's important to let them follow their own path and find their own passions and things they're into. But I do think that you've got to sort of steer them along that sort of line. You know what I mean? You got to keep it in check a little bit, but you got to let them just express themselves and let them be who they are. But you've also got to just I don't know, put stabilizer on it just a little bit. Like, oh, you want to try this? Okay, no, like you got to let them do what they want to do, but yeah, you can't just let them do only what they want to do because I don't think that's good.
Yeah, because if I woke up and didn't tell my kid what to do, or just told him yes to everything, he'd play the fucking Switch for 9 hours and he'd just eat chocolate all day. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah,
ain't a good way to fucking do it. But I give him some leeway here and there, and I let him know stuff's a treat, and let him know that stuff's a privilege. You know what I mean? But you still got to make sure he just gets the chance to be a kid, man, and does kid stuff. Because
yeah,
I take him to the park and fucking we've been rock climbing and shit, and I make sure he's still climbing and riding bikes and getting muddy in. But the amount of kids there that are like bigger than him, probably like fucking 3 years older than him, that just can't climb or go down a slide or anything, and you can just tell, like, yeah, you've been iPadded. While my kid's been like climbing this fucking climbing frame since he was 1, you've been watching fucking, I don't know, Cocomelon or some shit.
yeah. Sure, I was having quite a deep discussion yesterday, and I ended up texting my dad about some shit. To be fair, um, but I've got a friend of mine who used to live at his dad's, and now there was a weird rift, and then he got kicked out of his dad's, and they kind of speak every now and again at Christmas, but it's a rocky relationship, and my relationship with my parents are weird and rocky as well. And I asked him, I don't know why it was just a thought in my head, and I said, "Do you think that when your parents like pass with that type of relationship, that in a way it'll kind of be lesser of two evils in a sense that because you're not really close with them, that when they die it won't hurt as much, or do you think it'll do the opposite?" And we went on like a bit of a thing because I'm not close with my parents, especially my mom, but I do think like how will I handle it when she passes away? Like, will I be like, like that's sad? I think it'll always be sad because a parent's gone. Like, it'll be a weird thing to sort of digest. But I do think that I don't know. I don't think I'll miss the person per se, but I'll just probably think, I just wish you were a better person though. Like, I just wish you were a better person rather than, I wish I had more time with you. I just wish you were different, which is might be a weird and sad thing. But then I thought, I started thinking about stuff, and I was like, it's weird because I don't really relate to a lot of my family. When I'm at like parties and stuff, I look around and I think, like it's kind of like I'm adopted. Like I look at them and I think I don't relate to any of these people. There's a few here and there, like I have uncles that I talk to, and I can see like that they're a little bit like me and the way I think, and I'll have a little chat with them here and there. But the way they go through life and navigate stuff, that they're just different. They're just different people. Um, but like I don't know, I've never really been that close with family. And I thought like my granddad and all these people that are still alive now, and just even further relatives, like I've never really sat there and spoke to them like an adult. Like they probably think of me still as a kid. Like when I walk through the door and they're thinking I'm coming to a party, they probably expect like a little 10-year-old to come through. Then I just come walking through. They probably think, oh, he's a fucking full on adult. Um, but I've never like even when I speak to my dad sometimes, I think I see on his face that he like looks shocked because I'm talking to him like an adult. Like I think he expects me to still say shit like I'm a kid, you know what I mean? But like I'm a full grown man with like stories and I got my own opinions and shit. But I just thought like I've never like sat there with like my granddad or anything and like asked real questions. Like I don't even know what his parents' name was, what he did as a kid, what he wanted to be when he's older. Like I've never had like full on real adult talks with really any of my family members, which I thought that's weird though, innit, though, man? Like I don't know how common that is because families, like your parents are still together, but I think that's so rare. And I think no family's perfect, but I don't know how many people are really close with their family where they really will just talk about like, oh man, what shit did you want to do as a kid? Like, what was your parents like? Like, I don't know really, like about many of my family that way. I don't know. I think it's odd.
Yeah, I do think the same. I think my dad probably talks to me. 'Cause I fucking went for some food with him a few months ago, and I was talking about all sorts with him because we sat down for like 2 hours, and I could tell he was thinking, "Fuck me, has he got opinions on that?" Like, and I was mentioning certain people like celebrities or politicians and shit, and he was like, "Hey, do you know about him?" And it's like I'm a fucking I'm 30 odd. I'm out in the world, same as you, and I just know about shit. But he obviously still sees me as just fucking 10 years old. But it's
Yeah.
funny because he has said to me before, when I was like 24, 25, I'd come in the room and he says like fucking hell, and I'll go, what's up? And he's like, I just forget you've grown sometimes. Like when I call you into the room, I still look like at the
Yeah.
doorway like
Sort of
3 foot
saying,
high.
yeah.
They
They expect
expect
the
you to be
kids
that
come walking
small.
in and you fucking come
Yeah,
walking in. They're like, oh, who's
but
this
you're up
big
there.
cunt? Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's weird. I was always close to my dad, fucking until probably adulthood, and then we're still close, like we're good mates and that. But we don't hang out as much as we used to because I was just a kid then. But we spoke a lot when I was a kid, and he told me all of his fucking stories and shit. But yeah, we don't
Yeah.
really talk as much anymore. It's just small talk, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I want to try and go away with him soon, man. I want to fucking.
He's never been away, has he? I don't think he's never left the country.
Nah, he's never been out of the country now, but
That's crazy
I
to
want to
me, man.
try. I want to convince him to get a passport, man. Just come for a long drive, maybe go on the ferry and drive to fucking France or Switzerland or something, and just make some fucking new memories, man. Because we got no fresh memories. There's like a 10-year gap in which we've got any fucking memorable moments.
Yeah, it's what we spoke about before when I said like some people only talk about stories from school because that's the last time they sort of lived, you know what I mean? And they just keep rehashing the same stories. That's why it is important to go out and make new ones. So yeah, I do see why you think that. But even like I said, I was texting my dad. Like, uh, my friend said to me, he was like, "When he dies, you think you'll have to deal with the funeral stuff?" And I thought, "Oh fuck!" Like maybe. And I was like, "He's got a girlfriend and stuff, so maybe not. Like, I might not be obligated to do certain things." But I was like, "I don't even know if he's religious or anything." So I texted him and I was like, "Yo, dead random question, but are you religious? And do you believe in God?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I'm Catholic and I was baptized and I believe in God. Why?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What the fuck?" As if I like didn't know that. I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I just had a random thought and I just didn't know the answer, so I asked you." And then he sent me a voice message and he said, "Yeah, yeah, like I'm Catholic. I was baptized and stuff, and yeah, I really do believe in God." And then I messaged back. I was like, "Oh, was there ever like a back and forth whether you should baptize me or was I baptized? You know, I wouldn't remember it." And I was quite grateful for this. And he said, "No, me and your mum are going back and forth whether we should or not, but we ultimately decide that we'd leave it to you to make that decision for yourself." And I was like, "Oh man, I appreciate you doing that." I was like, "I don't." I'm an atheist. Like, but cheers for at least allowing me to make that decision for myself, which I do again think is important because we had Kyron on here before. And I brought this up to my dad then, saying like, yeah, it's the same when people just get the kids circumcised because they think it's better for them. Like, nah, you got to let the kid grow up and be like, yeah, I hate this fucking foreskin, lop it off. You know what I mean? It's up to
Yeah,
them, man. You can't just be making
which no
stuff
one
like
in
that.
the right mind would do.
Nah, nah, nah. If you got a circumcised dick now and you just think it's better, you're a fucking idiot.
Ridiculous.
And I know a couple of people at least listen to this that are circumcised, so that applies to you, man.
Yeah, fucking no neck having knobheads. But yeah, I do want to fucking. I do want to try and make some more memories, man, before it's too late, you know. But yeah, it's weird, eh? Just getting to this age now, you could just have to fucking sort a funeral at some point, man. But would you even be fucking ready, like financially as well? What if you had to just fucking drop 8K on a funeral tomorrow? Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And I've always said to people, and this is for the record because we're live and this will be documented on the internet, so, like somewhere, that I know it's not legal, but when I die, just chuck me to a curb, man. I don't want anyone financially struggling or thinking, fuck, we gotta do this and that. Do the cheapest thing you can get, bury me in the garden or whatever you need to do, man. Just, it shouldn't be a financial burden, should it? Also,
I'm
this
gonna
episode
fucking
is fucking bleak, in it, man?
do
This is
that.
meant to be like a comedy podcast, and we just talked about death and how the world's gonna end.
I'm gonna sort you nice, man. I'm gonna put you in the fucking river stour with a fucking shiny Gengar card on your chest.
Yeah, but that'll ruin the card.
Just float you off like that. Yeah, fuck it.
Benidorm funeral is what someone's put. Yeah,
Benidorm funeral.
I I think because I'm, well, you don't really know, but I assume and kind of I innately believe that once I die, that's it. I don't believe in an afterlife or there's anything better. And I ultimately don't give a fuck afterwards. So I don't care what service you ain't got to spend money. You know what I mean? Just do whatever you can just to get you through it and financially be okay at the end of it too.
I'll take one of them fucking Vikings, man. Just float me off on a raft and shoot it with a fire arrow.
Yeah, that's a cool way to go. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you wrote a will and you was like, yeah, man, I want this like 10 grand for you and all that type of stuff, you're a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? You're a bit of a twat.
Yeah.
Unless you're rich and it's like nothing for you. It's the equivalent of throwing like a funeral at like a pub or something like that, like most people do. If you're like, yeah, man, I want this and I want that. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird because if you're religious, that's why I asked my dad in that context. I was like, what's his funeral? What does he want his to look like? He's religious, he's Catholic. I don't know what that means. Like, can he even be cremated? Is that a thing against religion? I have no idea. Um,
Do you reckon it's fucking? Do you reckon life insurance is a bit of a scam like that? Like you're paying into a life insurance plan for years and years, thinking, yeah, my family's gonna fucking sort my funeral out and have a nice nest egg after I'm gone, and I bet the insurance company's just like, we'll have fucking 80% of that.
yeah, yeah. I think most things like that are a scam. Like pensions are good. I work within it. For some part, but I do think some of it is a scam. And there's people that I find out more and more that have fought it over the years, and there's rules come in place. Like between the years of '97 and '98, whatever. There's like periods that they call, and then I'm like, what's this mean? Why is this different? Why have we got to calculate it like this for this era? And it's because people have gone to court to fight certain legislations and stuff, so they have to change it for that year and stuff. Like, um, and it's mostly derived from misogyny. It's usually sexist things and like why women get to do this, like, and it's usually men fighting for shit because women get it easier and stuff. Which, it's based on life expectancy, your retirement age. So like the life expectancy is getting higher and higher and higher. So that means that's why your normal retirement age is getting higher and higher. Like it used to be, it's 65 for men, 60 for women, but I think for us it's probably gonna be like closer to 70 because the life expectancy, it's like a 20-year gap that they try and keep it in. So if you retire at 70, the life expectancy is probably going to be like 90, averagely in the UK. But women get to retire earlier than men, but statistically, women live longer than men. So it's a bit weird. But it's because years ago when they set it up, it was probably like, yeah, the men will do this and the women can retire early. You know what I mean? It's based from like old fucking laws and shit from wars and that. Um,
I was
yes.
daydreaming the other day and I thought of a concept of like life extending drugs where say when you get to kind of 60 you get offered like an injection that will guarantee you another 10 years, but once you've took the injection, like you're going to get the 10 years, but you can do it forever. But so when you get to 70 you can bang another 10, and like even if you get to like 120 you can still get another 10, but you'll keep your youth of like 50, 60. But I was thinking in this world, they're obviously going to make it chase retirement as well, are they? Like, yeah, if you're taking this injection, you can never retire because you're just of good health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could stop working, but you just wouldn't be able to cash out.
True, but I think like if you're like immortal in that sense and you live hundreds of years, you will just become a millionaire eventually because you could just, you know, the whole point in you have like a real window, like you're in your 30s now, a real window of like, let me get shit together, crunch until you're retired. So there's a good 30 years there that you get your shit together. You get a mortgage paid off within that time. And then you start slowing down and enjoy your life a bit. But if you pay your mortgage off and you go on all the holiday trips you want to go on, experience you want to do, then eventually you're just going to start stacking that money and then you just get to live eventually. So I think you will just be able to just chill. Like I think
I
when
don't know, man. I'd still be fucking like, I'd be like 185, still trying to set up fucking Amazon drop shipping and doing online surveys.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Retirement. I'd like to retire now if I could, man.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Yeah,
I
man,
have
I got
debates with my
fucking
friends about it, and they say, like, yeah, but you'd be bored and you'd wish for stuff to do. And I'm just like, man, you don't know me. I could happily do nothing forever and I'd be more than okay with it because it's my time. Even if I do nothing, if I just want to stay at home all day and just touch my dick, man, that's what I want to do that day. And the worst part for me with like working and stuff is that it's just time. Like it's like 8 hours a day minimum. If you commute and stuff, that could be like 10-hour days that you just have to work for someone else. But if you're just doing nothing for those days, that's still your time, even if you do nothing with it. I'll look at work and be like, that's so much time that I've got to dedicate. That's not like mine. And I get you have to do it to live, to work and earn money and stuff. But I just see like I see like my cats. I say, man, they don't give a fuck about work or any problems. They're just lying on my bed and just sleeping and chilling all day. And it's like, why can't I just have that life? Why can't I just do what I want to do, whether it's productive stuff or just be like, I just want to chill today. Like it should be like that, really, shouldn't it? But it doesn't work that way.
yeah, boredom's a privilege, man. Like I said to you yesterday, I was jealous of my kid, man. Just gets up like 6:30, gets on the Switch, man. I'll come in here and he's just munching a fucking apple, just playing games. I wish I could just fucking do that again, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
life.
This episode is so depressing. To be fair, we was contemplating whether we was going to do this or push it tomorrow because I've had a fucking rough day, man. I only woke up from a nap like an hour before, well, like 15 minutes before we even started going live. If you can't tell by why I was sleeping or whatever, I've had a rough day today, so that's probably reflected in this podcast. But you know, they can't always be hilarious.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
We
some
can't
bleak
always be
ones in
just
there.
fucking smashing it, man. I'm going to put a bow on it now.
Yeah, fuck yeah, let's end it before we get really fucking depressing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, if you made it through
Sweet
this
one.
and not slit your wrists, man, well done.
But do comment if you did.
Yeah, let us know. Send us pictures.
Yeah,
Also,
man.
I want to just say we spoke last time um, about that guy wanting to see your feet. He never got back in touch with us, did he?
Nah. Broke motherfucker, man. Can't afford me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man. Peace.
Please.